Anyone can follow through on a good day. Energy is high, motivation is present, the circumstances are favorable. The choice is easy. The person who exercises on a fresh morning with a full night of sleep and a clear schedule has not revealed anything about their discipline. They've revealed that they can take action when it's easy. The real question is what happens when the conditions are not favorable. When the alarm goes off after 4 hours of sleep. When the day has already gotten off to a bad start. That is the test. Everything else has been practice. Hey there, it's me, Core, and you're listening to Exercise and Consistency, from fitness to flourishing. The worst day reveals the standard. The standard you actually live by is not the one you aspire to. It's the one that holds when conditions are at their worst. The person who exercises for 2 minutes on a day when everything is going wrong has revealed a standard. The person who skips because the circumstances were not ideal has revealed a standard as well. The standard is not what you say you believe. It's what you do when the reasons to do otherwise are abundant. The worst Tuesday is not a special case. It is the test case. It's the data point that reveals whether the standard is real or aspirational. A standard that depends on ideal conditions is not a standard. It's a preference. A standard that holds when conditions are terrible is what you want. The floor survives the worst day. This is why the floor matters more than the ceiling. The ceiling is what you can achieve under ideal conditions. The floor is what you maintain under the worst ones. Consider two people. The first sets a ceiling of 60 minutes of exercise and a floor that is effectively zero, all or nothing. If they cannot do the full workout, they skip. The worst day arrives. 60 minutes isn't doable. It won't fit in the revised schedule. They drop to the floor, which is nothing. The streak breaks. The system collapses because the minimum standard was never actually a standard. It was a wish for the right conditions. Not a good plan. The second person sets a ceiling of 30 minutes and a floor of 2 minutes. The worst day arrives. 30 minutes isn't doable. Time is too tight. They drop to the floor, which is 2 minutes. They can do that. The streak survives. The system endures. The worst day does not need a Herculean effort. It needs the minimum that keeps the streak alive. The person who sets the floor high enough to maintain the streak on the worst day has a system that lasts. The person who sets the floor at zero has a system so fragile, almost anything less than ideal will put an end to follow through. The accumulated evidence. A person who has exercised on 50 good days and skipped on 10 bad days has a misleading record. The good days show what is possible. The bad days show what is actual. The trajectory is not determined by the days when you showed up. It's determined by the days when you did not. The person who wants to know their actual discipline does not look at their best week. They look at their worst Tuesday. That's the truth. Everything else is a story about what you could do if conditions were different. Potential versus reality. The worst Tuesday is not an interruption to your discipline. It's the proof of it. When everything is stacked against you and you still deliver a small, consistent action, you're not just preserving a streak. You're demonstrating what you're capable of when excuses are abundant and witnesses are absent. A floor that survives the worst day becomes a quiet form of power. It's the part of your system that cannot be taken from you by chaos, fatigue, or circumstance. Raise the floor, protect the streak, and you build a discipline that is no longer dependent on mood, motivation, or ideal conditions. Your best days show your potential. Your worst Tuesday shows your reality. And reality is the foundation you can trust to support your goals. If you want a discipline that endures, engineer a floor that cannot fail. The worst days will come. And when they do, you can choose who you are 2 minutes at a time. When you are ready to build the internal standard that makes external support a choice rather than a necessity, start your day one inside the Act Score Challenge. Check out exerciseandconsistency.com. That's it for today. Catch you next time.